Okay. Let's go with this and then handle. I like this one. Let's paint. Not gold. Do blue. No, this part. No. Only this part. We need glowing. Yeah. Guns. Not paint. Assemble. Barrel. Trigger. Wait, but what if? Yeah, that looks right ridiculous. There we go. Man, I wish I could build a gunpla gun like this. Oh, wait. Hello, and welcome to Plebpla, wherein this time of crisis means that I have more free time. Although not really, I'm just being a little bit more productive. Today, as seen in front of you, is the 30-minute missions Alto Blue, but also the 30-minute missions option weapon 1 set for Alto. Also, option armor for Commander Alto. Also, option backpack number 2, not mech specific. So, back last September, many moons ago, I finally picked up my first 30 minutes missions. The only one available at that time was like either it was the green thing, the yellow thing, or the blue. And blue is pretty high up on my list, so we went with the blue Alto. And a good month and a half ago, 2 months ago, Hobby Search did one of their flash sales, and I decided, you know what, that would be the time to get more accessories for my Alto. And then, earlier this month, your boy Crowsama decided it's going to be 30 Minutes March, also in conjunction with Gunpla Network. I'm not a part of that network, alas, but I am here to participate in 30 Minutes March. So, let's take a look. The standard blue Alto stands so tall. I'm going to grab Grandpa Jim for a size comparison, stand him up straight, and you can see that back to back, your regular high grade is only about half to 3/4 of an inch taller. It's not bad. It'll go on your shelf fairly nicely. And of course, I'm right there because I don't have access to my lights at 4 a.m. So, we're going to take its little gun away. I'm going to move that aside. That is not a stand that it comes with. That is just an extra stand I have. Take this little knuckle buster out. I don't like that. And behold, our Alto. Right up close here, we see he's got plenty of 3mm pegs all over. Legs, arms, top of the shoulder. 2 up front even. 2 up front even. 2 in the back, 1 at the booty. And like so. He has Seto stickers. I guess we can stick with the standard, bust out the manual for our Alto Blue. It is one of those unfolding, expanding pages. So here we have our main page. I'm gonna back this up so I'm not such a jerk. There's our first page. Our second page has a rundown of assembly instructions, the general construction of how things are go, and how our two runners are actually segmented very nicely. That is also something that has been done for, I believe, both the Maganok and the high grade Leo, and to a degree even the high grade Devil Army. On this side we have our runners, and trimming and assembly techniques, as well as caution, aviso. We start our assembly with the head and the body. Move on to right and left arm units. Flip your entire setup around. Go over here to the waist unit, which is where I like to start, and then go to the body and the head. Left leg. On this page we have our right leg, which covers 2 pages. Full body snapped together. The weird little Roy that we get. Our 2 weapons, the gun and what is just a handle, but that little plug on the front, I guess you could use it as a knuckle buster. Attaching the backpack, the Roy. You could replace the Roy head with the regular head, putting weapons in, storing weapon on the back. You could attach 2 different backpacks from 2 different Altos and get a sort of daisy chain for extra weapons or thrusters. Assembly, putting it on a stand, and showing the features of both all the accessories that you can get, as well as all the 3mm pegs. Now, before we start slapping extra stuff on there, we're going to show that we've got only a few runners. Here's the C runner where all your weapons and backpack go. That fell behind the bed. Ooh, hold on, let me hydrate. Sorry, had to do that. Our polycat piece. Our B runner, which is all in a dark gray. And our colored A runner, which has our 1 clear parts piece. All of our light blue bits for the armor. Over there. Here is your boy Roy. He stands there. I guess because he's got a peg or 2, you could probably stick a weapon on him. That handle doesn't fit. Sure. I guess there's a way. Some combination of all of our weapons here that I have on the side. You could put something on top of there. I'm not that worried about it. He's going to go in the box. Matter of fact, he's going in the box right now. You have your generic gun here. It is modular. There's your module right there, as well as the scope up here. But we'll see more of that later. And of course, this is also modular. Single handle. I suppose if you have some extra beam saber effect parts, and I do have a pile of them, we could put one in the top of that. I'm sure one of them fits. Probably something from the 00 line. I think the current high grade Universal Sentry pegs would be a little too thick. Bringing them up. Head goes back and forth like so. Side to side. Flawless Exorcist twist. At the shoulders, we go up here. We can see this kind of hinge here, also on a ball joint, so you get some back and front. This is on its own hinge, which I've popped off a piece of armor. I think I can't seem to construct this side correctly because it just won't stay. It's not going to last, but it's still annoying that I can't get it to set in right. Oh well. So these shoulder pieces move individually, thus allowing the arm to go all the way up here. And because it's just a ball and socket, flawless rotation. you have, well, excuse me, maybe, do you want to do the move? There it was, it was just a little stiff. Bicep twist. Almost 180 degrees. And your standard ball joint for a fist. T-pose for a moment. At the waist. You get a little wobble back and forth. Little wobble side to side. And again, full exorcist spin. There aren't any side skirts in the front to get in the way, so you get full front kick, full back kick, and you also get side to side. As you can see inside here, it is on its own swinging hinge, so your leg gets its own weird movement, so you can get, I don't know, extra crouch, because there is a full fold on the knee. Absolutely glorious. Foot, front and back, side to side, which is stated backwards, applied correctly. Then up here at the thigh, that blocks it. Oh, but if you move it around just right, full thigh action. The most articulate thing, and the most customizable thing. It's great. So, moving this aside, let's grab some armor. Grab the manual for option armor. It comes in a plastic sleeve, much in the way that you would see. There are extra hand sets, there are emblem sets that come for high grade kits. They come in this simple thing. This is also what you see for your regular action-based number 1. So up here you have your assembly. Some warnings of how not to trim this part wrong. You have an upper shoulder piece here. Shield. How to assemble it all and pick your type of connection style you wish to have for your shield. How to assemble things, where they go, and your faceplate. Runners, warnings, extra information, and then on the back here, check out these other option parts for your Alto and Portanova. Tossing that aside, the option I went for was the Commander, which was a black option. So you've got 2 fully used runners here, and let's bust out the pieces. There is a shield piece of peg here, the other shield peg, the shield itself. So let's go ahead and we'll use this rotating one. That's going to plug right in there. And then at the arm, just plug that in right there. Goes right in, no problem. And you still have 3 more 3mm peg slots right there at the arm. So if you have something, maybe you've got this part, maybe you've got another shield, you want to multi-layer your shields, you can plug that in there, attach another shield. Maybe you've got some extra kits that have that same peg. You can add that on. We have our shoulder pieces here. Also on the side has a 3mm ball joint in there, and that's going to pop these shoulder bits right off. I'm going to throw them off into the background, and you just clamp them down in. Now I know there's a certain way it's probably going to go in, so you'll line up all of this, trying to do it through the side. Is that it? Did that do it? And bring that in. That is definitely the move. So there's that. Let's apply the other piece. It's going to have the joint on the outside. So there's that. Now, on the runner, it does come with 2 additional... Oh, sorry, bumped the camera. 2 additional shoulder covers, which you can see here. I'll pop this shoulder piece off. And of course I popped the entire thing off and didn't mean to. Squish that back down in there. It comes with replacement black pieces. I guess if you want your colors to match, you can swap that out. I'll probably do that later off screen. It's not too important right now. That shoulder piece just clamps right in there. So now you've got extra 3mm pegs on the shoulders. We have a chest piece, to which you will take this front and center piece off. Into the background you go. And just swap that right in. Bam. Now that does cover the 3mm pegs on the chest, but I think we'll be okay. Lastly, we have our faceplate. It comes with 2 options, or 2 pieces. It does have a V-fin on there, which, even without it, it looks pretty good. You can't tell. Well, let's see how well you can tell, because this face piece, this little aqua mask, has to come off. And then we moosh that right in there. Now, that looks pretty good. You can, if I had my lights, you can still barely see the orange plate behind that. It looks alright without the V-fin, but of course you do have the optional V-fin, which, apparently I didn't have it on there correctly. Fun, excitement, adventure, problems, and not wanting to lose pieces on the floor. This is why this is Plebpla, for I am a plebeian. Still slowly learning, but only having access to certain skills and setup. So as I fuss around with making sure this faceplate stays on correctly, this is curious. There it goes. It had to snap in place. That explains a lot. Then we got our head back down. And we have a commander type face. Now I wish I could have gotten this in some shade of blue, but black is fine. The joints are already a decent color scheme to go with. So there's the black armor, and I guess a flat black would be easy to color in anything that you choose. We have just extra pieces. We're going to kick all this little pile into the background. That's a small background pile. Now the easier part to cover next is option backpack number 2. Not specifically for Porta Nova or Alto. On the back here you have both kits displaying the regular and the other option backpack. Fold it down like before. You have your warnings, you have how to assemble the pieces, and then how to plug them into the Porta Nova backpack, and how to plug them into the Alto backpack and our runners. Also, it comes with additional hands, expressive open hands. So bonus that I didn't know until I finally opened this package up. So let us bring out Char Dad. Now in the manual it does say that these hands are for Porta Nova, but it really doesn't matter because the back attachment is universally the same. It's just a left and right. You of course just switch your back hand plate, press that in there, open expressive hand. On the back here you'll see that you've got your 2 pegs. Now for this is one piece with a thruster up here that in this case will plug into here. This fuel tank has some full swing going on. This doesn't move, and you'll just plug that in and then angle things however you see fit. Same on the other side, except I'm going to mirror that and pop that right in. Now of course, that means that right now they are not balanced. It does stick out quite a bit, which is a shame, but such is the fate of, you know, customizing and adding things on. Finally, lastly, and where our intro comes from, we have options weapon set number 1 for Alto. There's not a weapon set number 2 yet. At least not that my research showed. There is an option weapon set 1 for Forza Nova, which I'll talk about in just a moment. So here you have 3 generic, you know, or not generic, but 3 general styles of gun you can form. Here's your piece assembly for one set, piece assembly for the second, assembly for the base, and assembly for the scope. Now once you have your base, which is the exact same base that you get with your regular Forza Nova, you'll see that you can replace the front section, the scope section, with one of 3 barrels, one of 2 scopes. So let's go over here. We're going to grab our free gun, which has nothing on it right now. And one thing to note is that in your 2 styles of guns, you've got this bigger cannon style here and this sniper rifle style. This optional handle right here, that only comes with 1. So when you pick one, you have to commit, and your others part kind of just exists. We're going to go ahead and build a sniper rifle here. Oh, that's the original gun. Plug that in right there. Right? Yeah, there it goes. And of course, you have your regular front. We don't need that. We have up here your regular scope. Does not have a sticker. If you have any like extra foil seals from another kit, like you kept the sticker piece, you can always just cut one out and put it into that. And then same here, you have your actual sniper scope, and that'll plug in right here. And we're gonna have to swap that regular hand back because we need a closed hand. Can I have the backing back, please? Thank you. Now we're going to put these extra hands back here in the option pile. I'm going to bring this close to my face so I can assemble it. And as tradition, that'll just slot right in, no problem. And it plugs in right there. One thing I really do like about this style of gun is the way that the stock goes around the arm as opposed to getting in the way of the arm. Like you've got your regular butt stock to hit the bicep, but you've got the rest of this that goes around the side, forms around the side. Glorious. Wonderful. So we have a nice big gun for our boy. Secondarily speaking, we have on the back side, our melee weapons. Our veritable versatility of blades with handles, long-handled weapons, or directly attached to the hand. Over here we have assembly for the handle piece, which you also get with the regular Alto. You get the hand connection. Over here you get your hatchet head type. Mindful instruction on the blade. And then it just comes down to combining what you like. Now, for display purposes, we're just going to go ahead and sample. Here is the long sword with the wrist plug. Simple ball joint. And now you can be Captain Hook. Or Captain Badass, whatever. With the hand back in place. You can also simply slot in your hatchet. Or, lastly, once I pull the backing off here, You can clasp this around your spearhead, and like any other spear weapon from your high grade models, if I quit trying to drop the back of the hand, which is why I had to bring it in close because it kept fumbling. Oof! Hit the camera like an asshole. That goes right there. We're gonna take the shield off for just a moment. And you get that. So, all this stands here. Allow me to tell you a story, which involves, again, the intro, which is a PC game called Mass Builder, wherein you build your own robot piece by piece. You know, you've got your shoulder, your chest, your legs, all sorts of pieces, customizable. And since it's still in beta, they're still producing more parts, more options. But in the same vein of you have a base gun and you can build your gun around that. The guns in those games have a stock, and then, or rather, the trigger, the stock, and then the barrel. You can build a pistol, a shotgun, a Gatling gun, a regular sniper rifle, all from from the same style. It's multiple designs of your base, multiple designs of your stock, multiple designs of your barrel that will change what kind of gun you have. The same can be said for your weapons over here, wherein you have your base handle, and you decide, oh, maybe I want a sword. Maybe, and if I quit hitting the damn camera, I'm so sorry, folks. And I guess we can do that. The thing that I really and truly wanted was, as I assemble things slightly off screen, oh, here, let me plug this back in over here. What I thought I was getting was a spear. This, unfortunately, is the best that I can get for the Alto weapons. I did some research before I finished building. I want to reset the camera because I kept bumping it. So I did my research, and what it turns out is that the options that I actually wanted are for Portanova Set 1. The big Gatling gun and an actual spear. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be any particular combination here that gives me a longer handle. I want a long handle. That's what I wanted. I thought this was twice as long. And there doesn't appear to be any combination here to extend this, because this is a tiny, like, square baby peg that is only designed for these weapons. I mean, now you get kind of a cool combat knife out of that, but it wasn't what I was expecting, so I am disappointed by this alone. That is the only part of all of this that is disappointing in the slightest, was that I didn't get what I thought I was getting. And I kept on the side over here, you've got your two runners for... hold on. There we go. Right? No. Left. Yes. No. No. These are the runners for the weapons. Part of this is actually shared with the Alto, because the same base gun and knuckle duster thing. And then over here, I skipped this part, are the runners for your boosters. I didn't set the camera back far enough so I could get things in front of it. I'm sorry, guys. Again, it's kind of 4 a.m. and I digress. Overall, for the regular Alto Blue, the Alto Blue, or any Alto, ZEON says, fund it. For your armor set here, this is the Commander armor set. ZEON says scrap it. It's... The fact that it only comes in black can be completely clashing with any color scheme that comes out besides white, because white and black are at least complementary colors. And the other Alto colors don't really go with black. And because, at least of the nature of the shoulder pieces, it's not going to be very easy to paint those over. Your mask and your chest piece you can paint to a color that you like, and that's fine. The same for your shield. That's fine. But also you have to consider that if you're going to plug anything into these, to the shield, you can't paint the inside of the pegs. So that also becomes a complication. What would be nice is if they had made more of the same sets, like your commander set, your flight pack, your underwater pack, whatever stuff is out there, in more than one color, more than a generic flat black. It would be nice. For your booster set, while at least for the Alto, it's not that, it's kind of protrusion-y. It sticks out quite a bit. ZEON says maybe. That's a completely optional set, and at least it's in that generic gray. That wouldn't be too hard to paint over. There's nothing else you're going to plug into that, so you just have to mind your connection parts. I don't like how it looks on the Alto. On the Porta Nova, it's great because you get your fuel packs more placed down here. So maybe if I had a second backpack piece here to attach to the Alto at the waist, that would be a little better. But you know, maybe I should have gone for the other one. I don't think it was on sale at the time, so maybe that's why I didn't. Or maybe it just didn't look as good to me. And lastly, for your weapon one set for Alto, ZEON will say fund it, but I'm disappointed in the options that I picked. I went for what said Alto. I was going for a theme here. It's like it said Alto, let me get that because I have an Alto. For some reason in my goofy little mindset, I thought, oh, it's not going to be that compatible, or there's going to be a slight connection difference if I get the Porta Nova stuff for the Alto. Or it's some kind of like faction war, like, oh, don't give Fetty a ZEON machine gun. No, don't do that. No. I chose poorly, but there's nothing actually wrong with the set itself if what you're getting is your style. Not really into hatchets. Knives are okay. I wanted a spear, but the kind of spear that I have to work with is pretty disappointing. So hopefully I can go out and find the Porta Nova weapon set and make a spear that I want. Maybe I can attach the two shafts together and get a proper length spear. And it does have a nice like trident style spearhead too. But all that rambling and raving aside, I thank y'all for watching. Hit that hashtag 30 Minutes March to check out other reviews and creations both by Krosama and other associated YouTube friends and fellows. In this time of stay at home, stay quarantined, if you need to go out, I plead with you, be kind to those that you have to interact with. Just because you're told to stay at home, there are lots of businesses, and that means lots of employees that are deemed essential by city, by state, by government, wherein people still have to be at their job. They don't get the luxury of being home with their loved ones and being 100%, or at least more safe from spreading the infection. If you have to go out, be nice to people. It's really important for those that still have to go out and don't get the option to stay home. But I thank y'all for watching. And as always, SIEG ZEON.